You guys see it, fellas, man. Another day, another mod. You guys know the deal, man. It's only right we do one that a lot of people have been asking for, and that's Longtube Headers, man. Start putting down a little more power, and let's get it right, man. Let's go ahead and get this install going. Just before we get this install started, I want to go ahead and shout out Flat Shark for supplying me with these Longtube headers. If you guys want to go ahead and pick some up, I'll have them linked in the description along with a 15% off discount code. So, but yeah, that being said, they have some great quality stuff. So let's go ahead and get these installed and show you guys how they sound, man. So that being said, we'll go ahead and start by taking off these stock headers. They don't do nothing but rob you from air, flow, all that. So get those out. Get the Longtube headers in, and it's gonna sound a lot better, fellas. It's gonna be a whole different truck, as long as with some power gains as well. So for those that know, when you upgrade to Longtube headers, you wanna also upgrade your plugs, your wires. So check it out, man. Upgrading to some better ones that are heat resistant, as long as with a sleeve for extra protection. So we'll be installing these as well. Link in the description if you want to go ahead and check these out. So we'll go ahead and get the truck lifted, start with this side, and get started with our new. You're gonna hear that cam a lot better now. For those that do know, this truck is cammed. With the stock headers, you can hear the cam a little bit, but putting in those Longtube headers, it's gonna sound way better. So I'll definitely be giving you guys a rev before the headers and then after the headers. So for those that have never seen the current setup, basically stock headers, stock piping. We have, these are catless, but I just left the cats on, but they are hollow. Then it goes along this side, and it's all gonna be 2.5 inch piping, but that's not gonna last for long. We're gonna go to 3 inch, at least for the Longtube headers. The exhaust side down there, for the most part, will stay the same, just because if I'm gonna boost it later, there's no need to do the exhaust over and over again. So Longtube headers will connect directly to the current exhaust. Got our sensors unplugged, both of them. So pretty much all we got to do now, just finish taking the bolts off, and then this should start coming right on out. All right, so we got that white pipe loose. Now we can get the headers off. That should all come out, and then we can start putting in the new ones. And there we have it, out with the old. Now we can go ahead and get started and in with the new. And for those wondering, this kit with Flat Shark is a whole set. So you get your white pipe, you get everything you need. You also get these clamps if you don't want to weld the whole set. So if you're feeling too lazy to do that, no worries. Or if you don't even know how to weld, you're still good to go. You have these clamps. So that's pretty much all our header bolts. Now just last one. Last one's gonna be our dipstick bolt, and that should make it loose. And now that it's loose, it should just come right on out. Yeah. There we go. That comes out. And as well as our header. There it is. Now that we have the headers out, there we go, out with the stock catless white pipe. There it is. Only thing we'll need from these white pipes is the O2 sensors. So we'll go ahead and get those off, and then we'll put those onto the Longtube headers. All right, guys, there you have it. Out with the old. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our new Longtube headers. And I gotta say, initially, big weight difference, man. I'd say about 7-8 pounds, somewhere around there. Yeah, these are a lot lighter. And overall, as you can see, these look good, man. I opted for the black. I know a lot of people do the stainless steel or the steel color, but I want to do the black, keep it sleek. But you guys see it, man. Let's go ahead and get these in. So our first try, we had a little bit of trouble putting it in. We just unplugged this AC line. I don't have AC at the moment, so it'll be easier if we just move that line at the moment, and then we'll be able to slide in those headers. There you have it. We have it pretty much in, but to come to our findings, after scratching it up a lot. So if you guys plan on doing this, to avoid this for you guys, to avoid scratching it, hitting it on everything, go from under, and then you also got to jack it up pretty high, because to get those angles and all that, we had it lower, we were struggling, but once we got the truck up higher, we were able to wiggle it in from under, and now we're good to go. So we just had to go ahead and place it, get our gasket on there, and then go ahead and bolt it up. All right, so as you guys can see, we just had them on. We just had to take them off just because I might have to make a little bit of customization, if you know what I mean. But anyways, you know, we will be able to make it work, you know, just give it a few little love taps, and we'll be right back in business. Y'all see the truck though, it's coming together. Yes, sir. But once we get that done, then we'll go ahead and get started on this side. All right, well, there you have it with a little bit of finagling and finessing. Fits good. The L2 sensor clear is good as well. We got this other piping going as well. That all fits nice and flush. So overall, pretty good. Now we just gotta get that side and then we should be good to go, man. But there you have it. That's gonna be pretty much it for that side. So now onto the driver's side. That was the passenger side. So hoping everything here just fits flush and good to go. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see, we found it easier to take out the spark plugs just because the header, as it was coming up, it was hitting the spark plugs in that area, but we took out the first 3. So now we should be good to just come on up and connect it. So here we go for the driver's side. Only one modification we had to do was take off the shield right there, the heat shield, give us a little more space to bring that through, bring it up from under, and then we should be good. And there you have it. That's all it was. So now we're good to go. And there you have it. That driver's side fits nice and flush. So we'll just go ahead and get that bolted up. And then that's pretty much it. Get the rest of the piping down there going. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, if you're doing those long tube headers, also want to upgrade your spark plug wires. And here's the ones I go with the extra heat shield. So if you want to check those out, those will be in the description. But let's go ahead and get these in. But you see, they come like this. They just slide it onto this end, just like that. And then this end will be sticking out from there. That's how you have this. Overall, extra safe measure. Can't go wrong with it. All right, so we're back the next day. As you can see, almost done with the truck. Last thing we pretty much have is just finishing up that Y pipe, getting it connected, and then getting these spark plug wires connected as well. Just one thing to keep in mind, you know, as we were connecting these, we noticed the sleeve was kind of getting away, not really allowing the wire to go in all the way. So we pushed them back a little more. That made it a little more firm. This side right here, these tend to bend a little bit when you're pushing them in. So just one thing to keep in mind, if you plan on buying these plug wires, mine are pretty much all hooked up, just have a few more to do. So we'll see right now how she cranks up, and from there I'll let you know, man, if this is a good buy or not. So we have this side pretty much almost done. We just have to go ahead and finish up this side, and then that's pretty much it, man. There you go. But for the exhaust, we're just gonna go ahead and put on these clamps. We're not gonna be welding it because, like I said, for those who know, we plan on boosting this truck. So later, eventually, I'm gonna have to take off those headers again down the line. So if we were to weld it, that'd be a pain in the ass trying to cut it up and take the whole piping apart. So in the meantime, we're just gonna use these clamps, and then we should be good. So there you have it. They just slide on just like that. Just right over it. Right over the piping, just like that. Then you just go ahead and clamp it on, and that's pretty much it, man. We're gonna find out real soon how this new setup makes our chop sound from that cam, man. I'm excited. There you have it. That's pretty much it for our Y pipe. Everything connects nice and flush, as you could see. So last thing is getting those spark plugs connected, and then we'll go ahead and give you guys a cold start. But there you have it. We got all our spark plug wires in on this side. Only one concern with these, this end goes in well. This end tends to get stuck or not get fully inserted when you're trying to put it in. And while doing that, sometimes these tabs tend to bend a little bit. So one thing to just keep in mind if you plan on getting these, we were able to make it work. We'll see right now when we start it up. Hopefully no misfires. Overall, if you can get past that little issue, not too bad. And fellas, there you have it, man. That's the complete setup. New long tube headers, new spark plug wires. Let's go ahead and start it up, man. What you think, bud? How's it gonna sound?
It's gonna sound pretty good, guys.
Let's see it, fellas. Nice cold start. Let's see if we can hear a little bit more of that chop. That's what I'm expecting from these long tube headers. When I had those stock headers on, you could hear the chop a little bit, but this should free up a lot more airflow to hear that chop. So let's go ahead and get it, man. Fellas, initially you can hear the chop definitely a lot more. I wouldn't say it's necessarily louder, at least at idle, but once we go for that little test drive and give it a few revs, I think we'll notice a big difference. But there you have it. Like I mentioned, at idle you can hear the chop a little more, but it's really when you start revving it, that's when you can hear the big difference, fellas. So like I said, right now, let's go ahead and set up a little POV drive and give you a real sound of that new exhaust and those new long tube headers. So also aside, keep in mind, also aside from not only the sound of the truck, we should also be getting a lot more power. I think long tube headers give about like 20 horsepower, 30. I've heard between 20 and 30. You guys let me know in the comments what's that number. Yeah, man, enough said. Go ahead and get it. right off the initial bat, definitely feel the power difference already. I usually use that hill right there as a kind of an indicator, you know, how able the truck is able to go that hill. And just off the bat, the truck went up that hill like nothing, man. So let's go ahead and see if we can get some pops and bangs for you. Big difference right off the bat, man. So before, when I did the dyno, I was pushing about 270 to the wheel, but now, you know, doing the fan delete, doing these long tube headers, just simple little upgrades here and there, we're probably more around 310 to the wheels now. So oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Fellas, what can I say, man? Another successful mod. Little difference in the sound, but driving is a total different experience, man. Total different. Go ahead and do one more. Go ahead and do one more circle around the neighborhood. You know they love the truck. They love the sound of that V8. I want to try to go ahead and give you guys a pull, so that's where you can really hear a big difference if I do pull. Man, I know y'all hearing those pops. Now when we go in cruise mode, you would never know, man. This thing has stock exhaust, stock headers. It's a plain old stock truck, man. Not too shabby. I should have started in a lower gear, but that felt good. But nonetheless, man, we're back, and there you have it, man. Like I mentioned, another successful mod. Truck sounds great. We just forgot to position our little tip right here a little better. Just got to go back and fix that. But other than that, fellas, there you have it, man. That's going to be pretty much for this install. As you can see, we didn't have any issues with those spark plug wires. So far, those are good as of now. But that being said, man, let me go ahead and give you guys a rev of before and after the long tube headers. damn near NASCAR at this point. But yeah, man, like I said, that's gonna be the setup at the moment until we boost, fellas. That is the next goal, not for video, but in general, as far as performance, getting it boosted, transmission, drive shaft, got a lot of shit coming, man. There you have it, man. That's gonna wrap this one up. You guys know the deal, man. New vids every week, so make sure you stay tuned in. And most importantly, like, comment, and subscribe to the boy. And I'll see you guys in the next one.